reason I play this track is this. Oh god, it's so good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational, brought to you by Sandisk Extreme Pro SSD. My name is Totalbiscuit. It is my absolute pleasure, indeed my humbling pleasure, to be able to bring you an incredible tournament, a stacked event, and of course, for that, we had to bring you the best commentator on the planet. Someone's got to prop me up. It's the one and only Artosis.
Oh, you flatter me. I have to say I am so happy to be here with you, Totalbiscuit. I mean, this lineup of... How did you actually pull this together? This lineup of players in a small elite invitational, there's never been an online tournament quite like this.
No, there hasn't. And we were actually very surprised to see that so many players wanted to get involved of this kind of high caliber. I think it had a lot to do with Crank being very, very friendly with a lot of very cool people. I'm going to give all the credit to him for this one. He worked really hard to get an incredible lineup on board, and what I hope is one of many more. I really think the Korean scene could use some more online cups. There's such a deep talent pool in Korea, and there are actually so few tournaments for them to play in, and I think that really sucks. So it's awesome to get a chance to watch such high-caliber play in such an awesome, sort of intimate environment with just 8 top-quality players.
Yeah, you know what? As you said, it is a very deep talent pool, but you really skimmed from the top on this one, man. This is like the best of the very, very best in the whole world. Of course, all Koreans, but I mean, I look at this lineup and this is just, it's going to be epic, especially this first group.
I think so. This first group blew my mind when I realized that we'd accidentally created the group of death from last year, and arguably just as good. I mean, maybe your opinion's a little bit different on this, but I'd say at the moment, maybe outside of a couple of recent slips, CJ Hero is on the level of parting right now. And then, of course,
Absolutely.
we have everyone else.
No, I mean, Innovation, Life, Flash, and Hero, you can't really ask for a better group than that. And absolutely, Hero, like right now, I think you just have to put him a step above Parting, even though, you know, Parting, I guess, did beat him recently in the Code S. It still, overall, Hero has been performing out of his mind. Definitely top 3 Protoss in the world at the moment.
I don't think there's a doubt about that. You know, his performance has slipped a little bit. Obviously, GSL, he got a pretty hard group. Funnily enough, Parting went out in that same group as well. So it's weird to even compare the two. And round 3 Pro League, his performance slipped a little bit, which is a bit weird because we're used to Hero, of course, carrying CJ, but Byung has stepped up to the plate in an incredible way, and conveniently enough, we got him as well.
Yeah, you know what? Hero, even though, you know, yeah, maybe he slipped a little bit, overall in Pro League, he's 19-13 right now, which is 2nd overall, and he's the only Protoss even in the top 7, despite all the cries against Protoss Imba. So, this guy, he's still performing pretty well, I would say. And, of course, Byung is, like, so quietly one of the best players in the world.
Oh, yeah.
No one, I feel like he's never going to get the right respect because he's actually just so ridiculously good.
16-5 was his record at the end of the 3rd round of Pro League. That is the highest win percentage in Pro League by a country mile. That ratio is insane. We look at people like Hero and Flash who have, and of course Maru, who have incredible win ratios, and then we look at Byung and he just blows them all out of the water, and it's like, where did he come from? You know, he's been running hot all of 2014.
He certainly has, and in fact, even just smashing Flash just a little bit ago, actually. It was like really recent. I saw him play a TVT like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and he even like really killed Flash. It was a super one-sided game. So like this guy might be like the dark horse to win this tournament, but I don't know how we can even call him a dark horse with how well he's been playing.
No, I don't think we can anymore, and I think it's only a matter of time before he picks up that big title. His Pro League performance is outstanding. And of course, we will get to see him tomorrow alongside the recent double GSL champion, picks up the recent GSL and the GSL Global Tournament all in the same month, which is incredible. Another Royal Roader, and that of course being Zest. And then that group in itself looks great. We have a classic. We got Dongregoo versus Hero, a match which actually hasn't happened since 2012. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the last time it happened was at the IPL Hot Import Nights tournament towards the end of Wings of Liberty. So that's going to be a really, really cool match to see. But we start off with a killer of a matchup. A match we saw very recently, actually, at DreamHack Bucharest. That being Innovation versus Life.
Well, I mean, these two are like two of the super prodigies, I guess you could say. You know, they've both been considered the absolute best player in the world recently. They're both like super young, unbelievably talented, really top of their race, you know. And Innovation, even though he had that little tiny slump where he wasn't winning absolutely everything, the kid is back. He's on like a 14-0 streak in the Acer Team Story Cup, I believe it is.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the only Terrans still left in GSL Code S. In fact, he's playing later today, so Innovation going to get plenty of games in. And he's a complete badass, man.
Yeah, he's a machine. There's no doubt about it. His Team League performance is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. He was scary as hell when he played for us in the GSTL. He was the guy that put the most wins on the board, there's no doubt. He was terrifying. Everyone was preparing against him, which was fantastic, because they didn't prepare against the rest of our team and then got stomped into the floor. But he is still maintaining that performance, and even though I suppose some of the hype has come off him after the Hellbat era ended, well, we have ourselves a new Hellbat era thanks to the recent change, and I have to wonder if he will incorporate any of that into his play today. I also have to wonder if he's going to be hiding anything, because of course GSL round of 16 is very important. This may be less so, so I wonder what kind of innovation we'll see on the field today.
Well, you know what, his group tonight is like really the group of death, so it's hard to say, because if he doesn't bring the same type of play that he's going to bring against Sulky that he has to face tonight, against Life here today, then he's going to lose. So I think we're going to see some pretty top-end play out of him, because you don't just enter a tournament saying, well, you know, I'm going to proxy Rax because I can't possibly show my strats, you know?
Yeah, you've got to have something going for you. And thankfully, Innovation is just a great all-rounder that hasn't been reliant on gimmicks ever since the Hellbat era. He just plays rock-solid macro all the time. And that's not really something you can prepare for. He's making the best decisions. He's practically perfect in every way. He is exactly what you need to be as a top-end Terran, and he is one of the only top-end Terrans at the moment that's still able to keep it up in the GSL, so really looking forward to this matchup. And Life, of course, you know, we shouldn't forget him. Life's recent win at DreamHack Bucharest indicates very clearly that Life is back in a big way. He's performing very well. He did have a bit of a slip in the GSL, of course, but is the hardest tournament in the world, is to be expected.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you call it a slip to beat Rain and then lose to another SK Protoss,
yeah, exactly,
then I'll slip all day long, man. Life is still performing. That Bucharest win was big for him. Yeah, he went through one of those little like slumps, I guess, as well, where he didn't win absolutely every tournament. But overall, he's still been killing it. Like, even to get to the round of 16 in the Code S, he beat Rogue and Classic, who are like tip-top Zerg and Protoss players as well. So I mean, you cannot say that this guy is not playing at the top of his game right now.
I would agree. And we're about ready to kick it off. I don't see any reason to delay this any further. And that also means that I can put on my great Versus screen that we spent a bunch of time making. So, big thanks, of course, to Zook that provided all the portraits for this tournament. Did some just absolutely incredible stuff. Created 8-player portraits, and it was actually inspired, you probably remember this intro, it's one of the most famous intros ever, the Ever OSL intro with the really cool graphic art style.
Oh man, I still watch that a few times a year, like, it's so good.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's really, really good. We did our best to imitate the style. This is a little bit of a homage to it. And they're great portraits. We're going to put them out as wallpapers later for everybody to enjoy for free. But Innovation will be taking on Life in the first best of 3 here in the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. Innovation confirms ready. Life confirms ready. And the game will begin here on King Sejong Station.
All right, King Sejong Station, TVZ. A nice matchup. For the map, but mutas can get out of hand, so if Life gets into that late game without Innovation doing some damage, could be tough.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. The format that we're using, for those who don't know, is we will be doing best of 3 group stage, dual tournament format. That's the GSL format you should all be familiar with. There is a 7-map pool, and there are 2 vetoes available for each player. After the vetoes have been done, all 3 maps will then be selected in order. So we know all 3 maps before we even begin. And once we get to the best of 7, things are going to get really interesting. There will be vetoes available, which means that if we go to game 6 or 7, we'll be having a repeat, which is a format that the pro players actually liked a lot. It allows them to get rid of a couple of maps that they really, really don't like. And that can be key once you get to that really critical stage of that best of 7, where every game counts.
And you know what? Every time that you repeat on a map, it just makes this series that much more interesting as well.
Indeed, it does. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome